Tom, you've been talking about it. Can you give us some insight on the rules to winning, the unwritten rules? You said you're not going to celebrate on the court in Iowa. You found happiness in a small locker room in Iowa. You don't want to celebrate against your good friend and basketball full friend McCaffrey. Can you give us some insight on why that's very important to you?
Well, I've seen a couple teams do that, and I think I don't like that for me, you know. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but we'll celebrate when we're supposed to celebrate. I mean, you probably saw, you know, at Thursday night, we were all together, and that's what we did. And we didn't release it till after we won, for sure, the regular season, and they released that. But the real celebration will happen, you know, when the game's over on Sunday, because that's just the way it's supposed to be, win, lose, or draw. And I've just always believed that. I've 99% of the time done it that way. So ain't broke, why fix it, right?
Tom, Jace has made a case for being freshman of the year. Can you reflect on how rare it is to have a freshman as calm, consistent, and efficient as he has been?
Larry, that is a good question. That leads me into what I wanted to do, and that's this. You know, Jace paid his dues. He you know, I don't regret any way we've handled it. He's fresh now. A lot of these freshmen are going the other way, but there can't be many guys that I've even coached that are as efficient and confident, not cocky, not arrogant, but believing in himself. That's hard to find that happy medium. And this kid has been, if you look at, you know, the Big Ten season in general, especially the last 7 or 8 games, I mean, his numbers were almost 50, 40, and 90. He fell down a little bit in the free throw shooting, but his rebound numbers are going up. He didn't play quite as many minutes as some of those other guys. If you look at points per minute, which the NBA does, I mean, he's averaging a couple less points than some of the guys that started out with a bang, but, you know, have kind of petered out a little bit. And the other main reason I think Jace Richardson is a candidate is because he's been in the forefront of a team that's winning the league by a game or two now. And whatever happens with that happens, but he's not only been a freshman, but he's been a freshman that has been very influential in Michigan State, winning a Big Ten championship. And that does not happen very often. It hasn't over my whole career. It hasn't. There's been a few in the league, but not many. So I feel comfortable now in giving him his just due because he's deserved it. He's deserved it for a while. But, you know, his humility and everything is why I'm comfortable talking about him, because I'm not worried about something going to his head or thinking something. Everything he's got, he's earned and deserved, and he's gotten better in every category, and he's helping a team win a Big Ten championship, which very, very, very few people can do.
Finally, on the last day of the regular season, it feels like maybe not a first-time prep for the first time, with the recency at least.
Yeah, you know, we've had a lot of first-time preps, but at least this is a second-time prep. We got in late last night, and, you know, guys are a little tired today, so we got to get fresh somehow here. And now I guess we turn back the clocks, huh? So don't you guys come an hour later, because I know you guys will fall asleep. So make sure you realize that we play at the old 11 o'clock, which is the new 12 o'clock. So you're going to get one less hour of sleep. But I think our guys are excited. I think today was the day where you went through everything and put it in. Tomorrow's the day you start building, and Sunday's the day you let the Lions out, you know.
So what I guess is sort of the message. I mean, it's a team you beat. They should be on the road. It's a rival. They've slipped a little bit lately, so they're probably going to be coming in with a certain.
Yeah, well, everybody knows around the country that senior day at Michigan State is a special day. Not saying it's not in a lot of places, but I think it's a very special day here. What more would your rival like to do? Come in and ruin that day, you know? So it's not just for the Big Ten championship. It's also for the seniors. And, Frankie and Shimon have put in time, but Jaden Akins has put in a lifetime. And so you always hope that day goes well for him. But Michigan's going to come in here and play. The score was not indicative of the game. It was not a 13-point victory, if you ask me. And so I know how good they are. I know what they're going to do. And I just hope we regain who we are the whole game and not just half the game.
Tom, a term you haven't used this season that I think you enjoy is alpha dog. Have we seen the characteristics, in my view, in Jeremy, or do we see it in Trey a little bit too, especially as of late?
Well, we've seen it in Trey for a while, and Jeremy, the one thing, Jeremy is playing better too, and I think Jaden, what he doesn't get credit for, he had those big threes in the Wisconsin game, then he had the big threes in the second half, but he has been our, most consistent defender and the toughest player. And, Trey has also done a very good job. Coop's done a good job on that. So I don't know if we have an alpha dog, but we have definitely Jace has been a guy we've gone to more lately because he's been able to do it off the dribble or with the shot. Jaden I still think his offensive stuff is coming and his defensive stuff is really good. So, why change now? We've been a team-up committee the whole year. We got one game left. It's not been something that has been broken, so we'll just keep doing what we do, and that's what we do.
Can you expand on those three seniors and what Shimon and Frankie have brought this year and the ways that you've seen Jaden grow?
Well, Shimon has been interesting because he didn't even play a lot, and at 7 foot, he's created some things that have been really good for us. He's clogged up the middle. He's been able to defend big guys. That our league has got a lot of big guys this year, which is surprising. But he's also improved so much in his free throw shooting, catching the ball. I think he's made great improvements. Frankie, we all know, started when he came here and been a little bit rougher, but he's the one that got us off to making so many free throws and getting fouled more, and that was something that we carried on. And now he's starting to rise back up. It's been a long year, and some of these guys are up and they go down, and that's maybe been the beauty of Jace. He's just kind of steadily and slowly climbed because I think he's fresh. And in Jaden, like I said, anybody who has a son want him to be Jaden, I would. Phenomenal student. He's a very good basketball player. Yes, he's been in a little bit of a slump part of this year, shooting the ball, but it hasn't affected his defense. It hasn't affected his workouts. He definitely works as hard as a lot of players that I've had that have ended up. Some, the Denzel Valentines of the world, and the Miles Bridges and the Gary Harrises, and those guys, Jaron Jacksons, that work their tail off. This kid works his butt off every day, and I'm excited for his future. But I like the immediate future better because we got a big game Sunday, and we got the Big Ten tournament, we got the NCAA tournament. A lot of basketball left for Jaden, and the better Jaden is, the better we'll be.
A question about Jeremy. A lot of basketball left to play, but can you reflect on the season he's had and how key he will be moving forward?
Yeah, well, when you look at Jeremy too, they always say that your best basketball gain is between your freshman and sophomore year. He didn't have one. And so it's really amazing, what he's done. It's been frustrating for him at times, and us at times, because it doesn't just come as smoothly. But when you have that much time off and go through what he went through, the injury, I think he's done a hell of a job. I think his best basketball could be the rest of this year, and his best basketball definitely will be after the summer of really getting a chance to get better with his game. That'll be a big key.
When you talk about Frankie, how have you seen him navigate this season in terms of probably came in with certain expectations? It's looked a little different, but lately it seems like he's also found a comfortable role to help you guys win games. How was that whole process?
He has. And the other great thing about Frankie is he never won a lot where he was. And he's so excited about winning the Big Ten championship. Some of the arenas he's played in, not an entitled kid, and I love that about him. So, Now, did it go exactly like you'd like? Probably not. But has it been good in a lot of ways? I think so. And he's been playing better as of late. So great time to be getting better. And we got more than a couple guys that are getting better as of late.
Coach, with Frankie and Shimon, it's one thing for a high school recruit to choose you because, of course, they can transfer. But for a guy to choose you for their final year, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means more than I really even think about, because this is a new era for me too, and you bring up a really good point. Somebody is saying, hey, this is my last year, I'm going with you. And I'm going to start looking at that a little better than I have, because it's something never really dealt with, so I never really thought about it. But I'm hoping they're glad they came here, but I'm glad that we got them. And they've both been, I think they played in every game. They've both been a steady part of our success this year.
You talked in the past about how one of your concerns with the portal is, are guys going to be able to go back to places and where? Do you feel like you've created an environment where Frankie and Shimon know this is a place they can come back to?
Oh, definitely. Maybe others do too. I don't know, but I definitely think that they'll be back, and that happens when you have a special bond with your teammates, and you bond with the players that came back, like when Draymond and those guys came back from Brian. These guys all get to spend time with them, and that's how you speed the process up. That even though you didn't spend 4 years, and we'll continue to do more things like that to try to navigate this world that we're in, because I think it's a difficult world for these players.
I know you've respected Jaden's work ethic and everything since he's been here, and for him to be able to leave with at least a title to his name now, I know he's been striving for these things, and as a senior to get a piece of something for him, what do you feel in that respect for him?
I think I felt better for him than anybody, because I know what work he put into this gym. I know what he's done here. I know what he's all about. I know even when he was struggling, and he still are being scored, I know when he was struggling. Never complained about anything. Jaden's a unique kid. I think there's going to be a lot of good things in Jaden's future. I really do. Because anybody that works his hard, I think sometimes he puts too much pressure on himself. That's normal for guys that are driven. But yeah, I'm happy for Jaden. He leaves with something, as Mateen Cleave said. We were at a reunion and all the guys, no. Only the champions get to stand over here. He didn't mean just national championship, Big Ten champions. And Jaden's in that circle now.
He seems like a guy that cares about the program's culture, history, and that type of stuff, too.
Yeah, he definitely cares about all that. And he'll be back a lot.
Now, reaching the ultimate goal at this point in the season, being the Big Ten championship, was there ever any fear that Iowa could have been that trap game, Michigan could be a trap game, with kind of having all these highs right now at this point in the season?
Oh, 100%. That's what I'm most anxious to see. We learned after the West Coast trip how to handle failure. And now we are steadily learning how to handle success. And the streak we've been on is as good a streak as we've been on maybe since my third or fourth year, And with the teams we played, it might even be better. I mean, somebody said we're 9-2 on the road. That played off. So, I'm anxious to see how we handle Sunday, and then how do we handle the Big Ten tournament. We're going to learn more and more about our team as we go. Not whether we win or lose, or exactly how we play. How do we prepare? How do we address the situation? And I thought we did a great job going to Iowa. That practices were good. But I say your games are won in practice, then they're won in airplanes, then they're won in hotels, and then they're won in locker rooms. And you got to do all four to help you win on the floor. I'm not sure we did a couple. I think we skipped a couple, took a little bit for granted. And that, hopefully we'll learn from that and see if we can come out a little bit more ready and focused the whole time.
11 Big Ten championship teams you've had now. What are some of the characteristics they've all had, and what are some of the things that make this team unique?
Well, they all had great assistant coaches. They all had people that cared about them. They were all part of an incredible fan base. And I think they were all guys that winning mattered. And everybody takes that for granted, like winning should matter. Of course winning matters. Winning doesn't matter as much as it used to. There's other distractions in the way. And I think all these teams winning has been the most important thing. And for that, I'm the most grateful head coach.
Coach, I know it's still, like you said, a long season still left. With that being said, getting these kids to buy in, sharing those minutes around, like you said, shrink the numbers is always hard. Is that a conversation that you guys will have or have already had of like, look what happens when you buy into a situation and reap the benefits?
We've had that conversation in October, November, and February, and I'm sure I'll still have it in March. Just because, as you go through it, it kind of weeds itself over. The better players rise, and the ones that aren't playing as good are going to bump them. But that's just the way it is. And but the way these guys have hung together, stuck together, pulled for one another, has been one of the more enjoyable things I've been through as a head coach.
Anything else, guys?